Okay. All right. Well, let me go through the whole process of what happens when you die, and we'll cover those things in it. When you die, you become aware in another virtual reality. So your body dies and you wake up, sort of like we're no longer in Kansas. You're in a different place. And in order, that is called the transition reality, and it's another virtual reality. You tend to have a little anxiety at that point, particularly if you come with fear, like, oh, is this hell or is this heaven? So there's some anxiety with it, or maybe it was a traumatic accident that you weren't planning to die, it just suddenly overcame you. But in any case, you will run into something, there'll be some strategy there to help you relax and let go of your past life. So it could be the light at the end of the tunnel, all the things that the people who have the near-death experiences do. That's kind of the beginning of this pathway. Often there's the light and you get this intuition, that would be the larger conscious system sending you a message, move toward the light. So you do, and then as you do, you find, Aunt Susie and Uncle Fred, there to greet you, and because they passed on 10 years earlier, and they're smiling and they're happy and they're obviously having a good time, so it couldn't be too bad there. So these things are done just to put you at ease, make you feel relaxed, and let go. Your previous life begins to fade immediately, just like dreams do. You wake up from a dream, the instant you wake up, it's perfectly clear. 30 seconds later, it's a little fuzzy. A minute later, it's a lot fuzzy, and 5 minutes later, what was that dream about? I only remember a couple of major things, but all the detail disappears. So that's the way your memory of the last life just begins to fade like a dream. Now, for the average person who has very little or no knowledge about the larger system, they go through a process that is basically designed to give them a chance to decompress and let go. So they're told to do non-functional things because you're just buying them time to decompress. Oh yes, welcome, you're here, Uncle Fred and Aunt Sally, they tell you, and then they say, well, we're busy, we need to go, we'll see you a little bit later, and they take off. That's the larger conscious system playing Uncle Fred and Aunt Sally. Okay, so then they'll say, yeah, let's see, what's your name? Oh, okay, over here, and there'll be a line of 15 people there, and you go stand in the line, and that takes a while. And if you finally do make it all the way up to the line, then they tell you a little something, or they tell you to go someplace else. And all it is just keeping you from getting into a fit of uncertainty, giving you things to do. Meanwhile, the old reality is disappearing, gone. All the people are nice and everything seems to be friendly. You're not hungry or cold or wet, and it's all okay. And then eventually, you kind of feel like, well, what should I do next? What's going on? Kind of what's happening here? And somebody will come approach you, and pretty soon you'll be planning your next incarnation, where you're going to go back and what it is you need to do. If you're just new in the business of being a consciousness and going into virtual reality, if you're new at the business, it's a jump in, jump out. There's not a lot of planning. And just go back in and you grab a body and you have another experience. Because what you need is experience, not a particular experience. If you've been around that block enough times that this part of you is developed, but this part not so much. You want to work on that part. So now you pick a certain kind of experience that you want to go back into that has the probability of helping you develop that part that's weak. You may even have people that you go back with because you really bring good stuff out in each other. You work well as a team. So now you may be incarnating with other people you've incarnated with before. Okay? If you've been around a whole lot more than that, you may go back almost with a scripted thing. You're going to do these things. You're going to help these people in this way. And you have a mission when you get here. So it goes from no scripting at all, jump in, jump out, to reasonably scripted, and everything in between. Okay, so that's what's going on. So then